We are having another two comma club over today on interview. Very down to the earth man right now. So let me introduce him first of all. He is the only guy who is helping entrepreneurs to start their own white label supplement brand. Literally, he helped more than 5,000 people to make more than $90 million sales in revenue using his company. And let's not waste any time and welcome actually Marco Gracia, owner at Rocketion Labs. Hi, buddy.
Hey, Nikhil, how you doing? Thank you for having me in your show.
Absolutely, absolutely, Marco. Super excited for you, brothers. Like I've seen yourself and I was like blown away by complete impact which you're creating. Like you are literally impacting hundreds of thousands of people's life with your brand. Appreciate what you're doing, brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're excited to be doing what we're doing, and again excited to be here with you and share a few moments and discuss a few things. So thank you.
Absolutely, Marco. So first of all, everyone who is watching this, Marco with us for almost 40 minutes. So if you have any questions related how you can start your own supplement business, how you can scale it up, anything you can drop in the comment section. He would love to answer you. And please make sure to put hashtag live if you're watching this live, hashtag replay if you're watching this replay. So Marco, let's not waste any time, buddy. Like, can you please start your backstory? Like, how did this all started?
Sure. So, well, I mean, when it comes to my company, Rocktomic, the concept of the company started about 12 years ago. It started with me and my business partners, Ben Morgan and Aaron Peden. And at that time, we wanted to also have a supplement business, a supplement brand. And we saw the difficulties, we saw the challenges that people normally face when doing so. And so me and my partners, we thought, there's got to be a better way to actually create your own supplement brand, your supplement business. It can be that expensive. It doesn't have to be that risky. And so that's how the model came to life. And over the years, we only work with a few people just to understand the market needs and what people were more interested in. And finally, in 2019, so 2.5 years ago, we decided to go all out on social media and start advertising our business model. And we went from having just a few people to, as you said, more than 5,000 clients at the moment. So it's been an amazing time. I've been involved in working with tons of entrepreneurs, who have lots of skills, and knowledge when it comes to advertising and marketing. I've also worked with people that don't have, too much knowledge on anything, and we're just excited to be in the space and to be able to provide a platform for anybody who wants to create a supplement brand, to actually make it happen without all the risk, without all the hurdle, without all the difficulties, if you were to do that on your own through the traditional approach.
Absolutely, Marco. Like that's like a real struggle for every single one who wants to start their own physical product business. Like they have all this crazy jazz, like fulfillment, sales, inventory, and managing all the orders, support tickets, a crazy jazz, right? Nobody really wants to do because it feels so hard. And also the investment is at least going to take $50,000. It's gonna hurt bank really hard, right?
Yeah. And that's one of the challenges too. Like, once you have your business up and running, you still have to manage it. You still have to get inventory. You still have to, do everything on the back end when it comes to orders. And so we're excited and happy to have an option for people to actually not having to worry about any of that other than their marketing, advertising, and sales. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, you made it like a pretty simple affiliate marketing kind of stuff. Like, they don't need to worry about anything. They just pick the brand and just start selling it and they make money out of it. And I see you give away huge commissions, which is so great and lucrative for every single person who wants to take advantage of it. And Marco, like there's a lot of stuff going in the hype of the market. Like people debate on, like, is it profitable to sell physical products right in 2021? Like what kind of digital products we should be selling? They say like there is low margins in physical product. Like what are your thoughts on the debate of physical versus digital products? Like what do you think happens?
Right. Yeah. So I mean, whenever somebody wants to start a business, that's the decision that they have to make, right? What's the product that I'm going to be pushing to my target audience? And today you have tons of products that you can sell. I mean, you can go to Alibaba or AliExpress and you have thousands and thousands of different products. To US manufacturing too, you got tons of products that are high ticket, low ticket that you can sell and source from the US. So yeah, that's one of the most important things when you are starting a business is deciding what type of product you are going to be selling, whether it's digital or physical. A lot of e-commerce entrepreneurs are going the digital route. the digital
Mm-hmm.
the digital product because it's easier, it's faster to put together and to get up and running and start selling. And when it comes to physical products, there's a lot of logistics involved, right? You have to contact manufacturers. You have to establish relationships with manufacturers. You have to understand supply chain and how all that works. And so obviously a physical product is a little bit of a more challenging scenario if you want to start a business. But in our case, we are working on the physical product arena. That's what we offer. We offer physical products to our clients. But we have made it easier so they can actually launch a physical product store without them having to handle all the inventory, the logistics, and so forth. So it's a lot of time. It's a lot of hustle. When it comes to working with a manufacturing supplier, and we're just trying to provide a platform so that it's not that challenging as it is in the traditional field. And so I like both products, like Rocktomic.
Yep.
Right now we are working on developing digital products as well. We are working on developing courses, training,
Amazing.
because there's a lot of people that want to get into e-commerce, but they don't know much about it. And if there's something that is absolutely true in this space is that there's a lot of courses and training that a lot of people are offering, and they're doing a very good job at it. But you, as an entrepreneur, you kind of like have to go to different places to get bits and pieces, and then you got to put it together yourself. Try to make sense.
Find out. Figure out.
So in our case, what we want to do is we want to have obviously our products, which are the supplements, CBD and whatnot. But we also want to have digital, services, training, courses done for you, funnel services, and so forth, so that we can kind of like provide all the solutions into just one place.
Absolutely, Marco. And I see Rocktomics Labs made this lucrative business model very easy. Like anyone can just come in and they don't need to invest a lot of money. They can just start with like $97 per month, plan with you, and they can start creating their own supplement product, which is amazing. And let's go detailed with this question, Marco. Like, how to actually start a print on demand business in 2021 right now in the current situation with you?
Right. So so just to finalize the previous on the previous point, when it comes to supplements and nutrition, like right now is the perfect time to do it. Why? Because people are transitioning to e-commerce, right? Everybody knows that brick and mortar is death and it's going to continue, dying. Everybody's going to transition to e-commerce at one point. And today, the world, like consumers, they're actually looking for nutrition. They're looking for health products. And so the supplement space right now is in search, right? People are looking for more immunity products, vitamins, minerals, etc. And so it's just a great product, and it's a great model to be in right now. So according to your question, what it is like to start a supplement business or an e-commerce business in 2021. So every year it becomes a little bit more accessible to actually do so. I mean, you can look back 10, 15 years ago. The thought of starting an e-commerce business was like, it wasn't there. Like it was just too complex. You had to find somebody who knew how to edit a website or create a website, and there weren't that many people, and it was very expensive. And so things have changed. For example, today you can get a ClickFunnels account. You can take courses, watch YouTube videos, and you can kind of like figure it out on your own. Right? So what it is like to start a business right now, the most important thing, and this is what I tell all of our clients when they get onboarded with us, with Rocktomic, is, it doesn't matter what you want to do, if it's brick and mortar, if it's e-commerce, but mainly for e-commerce, you got to have a solid business plan. Like you have to know exactly what it is that you want to do. And that's one of the mistakes that a lot of people make when they enter into e-commerce. They're all over the place. They want to do this, they want to do that, and as they chase it, like they never get it done. So before you do anything, before you get into e-commerce, you got to have a solid business plan. And that's one of the main things that you got to do today, right? In 2021, when it comes to building your brand and your business, you got to have a solid business plan. You have to know who your avatar is, right? You have to know who your target audience is. You have to know what problem you want to solve, right? You want to know what physical, what nutritional problem you want to solve for your target audience. And then once you do that, you select a few products And that's another mistake that a lot of people make. Like they want to have tons and tons of product from the get-go,
Yeah.
instead of just focusing on one product or one offer and just make it work, right? Figure it out. Know how to get some traffic into your website and how to convert those prospects into actual clients. If you can figure that out with one product, you can figure it out with multiple products, right?
Yeah, you can repeat and rinse.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that will be basically what people need to do. They have to have a solid plan. They got to know exactly who their target audience is. They have to know what problems they want to fix. And once they do that with our business model, with our onboarding process, it just becomes very simple to, go through the process, right? Select your products, get your labels done for your products, so you can have a fully branded, a fully private label branded a product. And the second thing that I would, emphasize on is you have to learn how to use e-commerce platforms. Like you have to know how to use Shopify. You have to know how to use WordPress, ClickFunnels, like whatever sales channel you want to use. You have to become the master of the universe on that particular platform.
Absolutely.
If you know how to use your platform, because that's your business, that's your store, right? That's your selling tool. So if you don't learn how to use it, if you don't know how to use it, you're gonna have a difficult time making any money online. It doesn't matter if it's a digital or a physical product. So learn to use your platform. Don't rely on other people. There's tons of people that go on Facebook and they ask in Facebook groups, how do I do this? How do I do that? And then I tell my clients, like, go on YouTube, find, how to add a product on Shopify, and you're gonna have tons of tutorials and videos that you don't have to pay for. It's right there. So you gotta be proactive. Like you gotta learn, and that's one of the keys in e-commerce. Like you gotta be willing to have a student mentality and learn as much as possible.
Absolutely. And like Marco, like what you just mentioned is absolutely right. Like a lot of people who enter e-commerce, like most of them fail. The reason is they don't have a solid business plan. They just enter in, they get 100 different products added into their store. They start pushing random traffic. They cry and they curl that they're not getting any sales. But you mentioned it very clearly that they should be super niche on. And what you mentioned is absolutely right. They just need one product, one kind of niche to make $1 million. They don't need to complicate it too much, right? So
Exactly. Yeah,
absolutely.
I take the same route that we took. We are focusing on one specific audience. We're focusing on one particular offering, which is build your own supplement or CBD brand. And we have been able to target our advertising to the right people because we know and we have that solid business plan, and that has helped us to be successful in what we're doing at the moment. So it applies to everybody. It's the same thing.
Absolutely, brother. So yeah, it's about quality of the audience you're focusing on, not the quantity, right? Absolutely. So
Correct.
like my next question is, Marco, like how to actually create a supplement brand with zero inventory? Like because a lot of people get complicated, like, oh, what kind of logistics do I need? Where do I get these products? How can I supply them? How can I make sure the tracking is done? Support, like there is a lot of stuff which happens, right? So how can a guy create their own supplement brand with zero inventory?
Yeah. So again, when you're starting a supplement business, the one thing that you have to consider is your inventory, right? Where are you going to get that product from? What's the quality of that product? I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, right? Like you can source products from many different countries, but you got to ask yourself tons of questions. What products to have? What are the trending products in the space? What are actually people looking for, right? Like you got to know that. Like if you're going to enter the supplement space, you need to know the 10 products that people are typing on Google and searching for. Like you got to know that, right? And it's very simple to make that research. It's very simple. So when it comes to starting your brand with zero inventory, that's what we offer, right? So basically, you have two options. Like if you are an entrepreneur, you want to start your own supplement brand, you have two options. You can work directly with a supplier and a manufacturer, and you can email them and you can call them. And if you're lucky enough to get a reply back, suppliers and manufacturers are going to say to you, yeah, I would love to work with you, but you have to buy 500 units, 1,000 units of all the products that you want to sell. So if I want to start a supplement brand, right, and I want to start with 2-3 products, I am going to have to buy 500, 1,000 or more upfront, and then I'm going to have all the risk. So if I buy all that inventory, I got to consider having a warehouse to store that product properly, and then I have to sell it before it expires. And that's the problem. Like you don't have all the time in the world to sell that inventory. Like you have maybe a year, maybe 2 years at the most. And if you don't move that inventory before it expires, you lose your capital, you lose your investment. So that's the traditional way of doing it, buying directly from a supplier, from a manufacturer, but buying in large quantities, and then figured out how you're going to actually sell those products. What we have done at Rocktomic is we have invested all the money on inventory. So we have partnered with manufacturing facilities, with suppliers, and we are the ones buying tons and tons of inventory. And then we're transferring that inventory to our warehouse here in Georgia, in Duluth, and we're storaging that inventory there. And then people that want to work with Rocktomic, they will pay for a membership, right? We have different memberships in our website. And then once you get a membership, you have access to all those products that we have already paid. And the beautiful thing about our model is that once you go through the onboarding process with us, once you select the products you want to sell, once you get your labels made and your website set up, once you start selling, if you sell one bottle, you pay us for one. If you sell 100 bottles, you pay us for 100 bottles. But you pay us for that inventory after you have sold it to your final consumer. So that's how.
That's the beauty.
That's how, and that's why we advertise there's no risk. Because if in 3 months you only sell a few bottles, okay, that's not good, of course. Like, you want to sell a lot. But if you sell a few bottles just to get started, you're only paying for those bottles that you have sold, for those bottles that we have fulfilled on your behalf. And so you can really control your scalability. You can really control your exposure. And I have talked to hundreds of entrepreneurs that have come on board Rocktomic, and I hear the same story. Hey, Marco, before I worked with other manufacturers and I had to buy tons of inventory, and it was just a big headache. I can never make any money because I have to continue reinvesting and buying more inventory. And so it's a real problem. It's a real problem, and therefore we have a real solution, which is you can sell your own supplement brand on demand completely. Meaning you sell the bottle, you collect the money from your final consumer, and that's when you pay us. It's after the fact.
Yeah, so absolutely.
That's how you do it. You got to partner with somebody who's willing to invest and buy the inventory for you, and that's who we are. We are a partner to our clients, and we are the ones fronting all the inventory costs, so that our clients don't have to do that. And so that's why our business model is so appealing. And that's why we have been able to scale in the way that we have in just a few years.
Absolutely. And that's like the real beauty of running Rocktomics, right? Like, it's just keeping it so easy for everyone to work with, right? So it's super transparent and easy. And like, the beauty is they don't need to pay 100, 500 bottles cost for you, right? They just need to pay when they make a sale, right? And like, everyone actually starts, like maybe when they actually start their own manufacturing, or they just get some supply from somewhere, they start their own supplement brand or any e-commerce brand. But they have, like, the main struggle is, when they run e-commerce, they have margins, not like huge profit. Like, they have a small margin, like it could be 10, 20, 30%, something like that, not like 80, 90% profit margins, correct? So when they're having these small margins, like, how can any e-commerce brand or a supplement brand can scale to 7-figure level like you did?
Right. So it all goes down to how you structure your offer. So, something that a lot of people do too is they try to sell one bottle to every person that goes to their website. So if you want to sell 1,000 bottles, right? If you want to sell 1,000 units a month, you are going to have to get 1,000 people going into your website and actually buying one bottle. And so one of the things that we teach in our live Facebook trainings on the weekly is the key of making money or making a good profit when selling supplements is to have a bundle offer. So for example, something that we're teaching our clients to do is when they go to your website, like, offer them the 1 month supply at a high price, offer them the 3 month supply, that means 3 bottles, right, at a lower price, and then offer the 6 month supply at an even lower price. And so the key to scale to a 6, 7, 8 figure, business when it comes to supplements is in your offer. Like, you got to bundle up. You got to be able to sell as many bottles per visit, right? So as many bottles as possible per visit.
Yeah.
So instead of selling one bottle to 1,000 people, it's more profitable. You're going to make more margins, and therefore you're going to have a lot more success if you sell a 6, 3, 4 month supply per person. And then once you do that, once you have one store and once you have one product, and you can do that. You can sell bundles. You can sell multiple month supplies for the bundle or for the products. You can just go ahead and create a separate brand, and you just duplicate and you do the same thing, right?
Absolutely.
But you got to start with one brand and one business. Like, you got to be able to figure it out. You got to be able to have all your ad campaigns. You got to test them, optimize them, and then what you do is you take that and you duplicate it into a different brand, a different business. So you can start with a sports nutrition supplement brand, and then you sell 1 or 2 or 3 different products. Once you crack the code, you just take the same assets, the same digital campaigns that you did on Facebook or Instagram, or if you work with affiliates, whatever, and you just duplicate that into a keto brand. And then you take the same concept and then you develop a gummy brand. You sell gummies for, sleep relief or anxiety relief. And you just start duplicating yourself. And then, after a couple of years, you're going to have 5, 6, 10 different brands that are pushing, a couple $1,000 every single week. And that's how you become a 6, 7, 8-figure entrepreneur, right? You can do that through one brand, right? You can also do that through one brand. And it's just a matter of how much advertising you want to inject in the business so that you can scale it. So if you're investing $1 in your one brand and you're making $3 back, all you got to do at that point is just increase your ad spend. And then
Absolutely.
increase your ad spend and you scale it. And the most important thing at that point is that you communicate with us and you tell us your plans. You tell us, your scalability and what you want to do, so that we are prepared with the proper levels of inventory for your particular account at the warehouse. So, there's multiple ways of doing it. The most important thing, and I always go back to the basics, right? Solid business plan, knowing your audience, knowing what issues you want to help with. And if you are able to do your marketing and your advertising and your sales correctly, again, if you're making, if you're investing $1 and getting $5 back, you just need to scale it. And that's how you get to 7, 8-figure, numbers or more.
Absolutely, Marco. And I think that's the number one key. Like, people lack focus on, focusing on one thing. They just try to do multiple other things. And what you just mentioned is they should be actually creating the right bundle. Like, everyone starts e-commerce and they just say it's not working. The reason is there is no exciting offer. They can find the same product somewhere else, right? But if you just create a bundle offer, especially for supplements, that's going to excite them, and you can easily increase the average order value of your customer. So you have more budget to scale it up. You have more budget to test out, so you can find the right winner.
And the key is also to specialize in one niche. Like, for example, when we talk about the typical pre-workout, like, when you think about a pre-workout, the first thing you think about is people that go to the gym and exercise, right? People that work out. And people assume that that's the only person who will ever consider taking a pre-workout, like, when it comes to supplements. And that's just wrong. Like, for example, you can target people that do mountain biking, like bicycling. On the weekend, they go to the mountains and they go bicycling. You can sell a pre-workout for this audience as an energy supplement, as an energy alternative. And so if you brand and if you promote this pre-workout, not as a pre-workout, but as a natural option for energy boost, and you target people that do mountain biking, bicycling, and then you create your beautiful funnel, website, labels to target that particular audience. How many people that do mountain bike do we have in the US, right? We got thousands of people. And if you target that niche specifically and you offer them an energy boost solution, that's a lot better than trying to just sell a pre-workout as a pre-workout. So you got to be intelligent. You got to be creative, but you have to focus on particular, specific niches. And if you sell, again, the pre-workout as an energy boost for mountain bikers, and you target only those people, they're going to see that as a suitable option, right? As a product that is targeted or manufactured specifically for them. The more chances that they're going to buy that product just to try it out and see, how it works for them.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a golden nugget right there. Like, people really need to see where their message is going, right? It's not just doing super broad. Like, you can take the same product, package it differently, and sell it to someone else. And like Russell says this multiple times. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Let's get into the next question, Marco. Like, scaling a supplement brand, they have great offers. Like, you have great products. They can create their own private label. But how about traffic? Like, that's like funnel without a traffic is nothing. Like, it's completely dead, right? So what is your primary traffic source you prefer for your clients or yourself?
Right. So
Super sharp.
when it comes to a supplement business, the one thing that I would recommend to do just to drive traffic to your funnel, to your website, to your offer, is to work through affiliates, right? It's a lot better to have people that already know how to drive traffic to a website do it for you than you trying to do it on your own, or learning how to do it on your own, or paying an agency so that they can do it for you. So our favorite option, when it comes to driving traffic to your website, is working with affiliates, people that already have audiences. I mean, how many influencers, how many affiliates, how many influencers have hundreds of thousands of people that are actually buying health and nutrition products? And all you got to do is be a good negotiator, contact this affiliate, do a good deal with them, and have an army of affiliates, have an army of influencers promoting your product every single day. And that's how you get traffic into your website without you spending any money on advertising. And that's the key. Like again, if you don't know how to do advertising through social media, you have two options, right? You can either learn how to do it and invest money or lose money trying to figure it out, or you can pay somebody else to do it for you, which when it comes to agencies, they can actually help you, or they can actually just take all your money and not give you anything in return. And that's just how it is, and that's why agencies never guarantee you anything, and they really can't, because there's just so many moving pieces. When it comes to advertising through Facebook, Instagram, having the algorithm of Facebook figured out before you actually start targeting the right people, like that takes time. And that time you're paying for, every single month, $2,000, $3,000 to an agency. So unless you know how to do it, or unless you have tons of capital that you're willing to invest into advertising, the primary traffic source has to be people that already have a following, people that already have an audience. And again, you have to be a good negotiator. I mean, the truth is that if you have a solid affiliate and you're not able to connect with him and negotiate with him properly, like that's on you. Like you got to be the negotiator. You got to be able to close down the deal with them so that it makes sense for both parties. And if you do that well, again, if you have an army of people promoting your brand and products, you are going to get people going to your website. And if you do your website correctly, like if you create your funnel, your pages correctly, and you make an amazing offer, you are going to be converting those people that are going to your website into actual customers. So I would say that's our preferred way of doing it. That's how we started two years and a half ago. We did start with affiliates who were promoting our offer. And then, once we got some traffic, some momentum going, then that's when we started, doing our own advertising and marketing in-house. But that's how we got started too. It's by having other people promoting the model.
Absolutely. And I see like there is almost zero risk involved while you're actually piling up affiliates. Like you can just say like, hey, let's do a rev share or profit share. You can just get a lot of people say yes for your brand.
Yeah, there's no risk. Like if the affiliate, if they are solid, if they do a good job, if they know what they're doing, like they are going to have people going to your website, and because of their recommendation, most likely those people will buy from you at least once just to try the service.
Exactly.
But then, if they don't have anybody going to your website, if there's no conversions done, like nobody gets paid, right? So it's a beautiful model. Like people get paid in their production, and that's a perfect scenario.
Exactly. And also like while they're scaling up with, ads and stuff like that, like the beauty is they can pile up with affiliates and, have the pixels on, get that data. And after they good conversions through their organic or affiliate marketing stuff, they can actually use the data to scale up to advertising, right? Like it will be cost effective for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look at what top brands are doing too. Like you got top brands like Nike, they're making millions and millions of dollars, but they still got to have an influencer promoting their shoes, like Michael Jordan. You still have, top brands that, everybody knows, you got brands that everybody's aware of, but they still work with influencers. They still sign a deal with, Tom Brady or whoever is like the hot, sports guy for the year or whatever. Brands, even when they're established, they continue using affiliates. They continue using influencers, the hot person of the moment, to promote their brands and businesses and products and boost their sales. So it's something that top brands are doing as well. So it's not something that only, startups need to do. It's something that everybody needs to do, right?
Yeah, like model what's working. And I believe like even an established brand cannot directly speak to the customer in a personal way, but an influencer can. So we can just take the fair advantage of it by just keeping the influencer as the face of business and just like
No, of
have
course.
that super business model going around, right?
Yeah, no.
Absolutely.
And in your case, you're doing the same thing. Like you're contacting people that have won these awards, right? You're getting employee influencers, like in the space, in some shape or form.
Absolutely.
That's also boosting you as an interviewer. Is boosting your name. Is boosting your brand. What you're trying to build, and so
Exactly.
it's something that is naturally the right way to go.
Exactly, brother. And like that's the most easiest and quickest way possible to grow as well. And let's get into the next question, Marco. Like you see, like you have worked with thousands of people who started their own supplement brands, like private label supplement brand. Like, what do you think are the most common mistakes people do while they're doing supplement business?
Well, I mean, I've worked with more than 5,000 brands, and so I do have a very long list of what the mistakes are. And again, I mean, tons of people they're just getting started with entrepreneurship, right? But
Hmm.
if I had to just talk about like the main mistake or like the main, you know,
Three mistakes probably would be great.
like yeah, if we talk about that, like the main mistake, I would have to say. When you decide to become an entrepreneur or a business person, like you got to
Hmm.
have the right mindset, like and you got to act like an entrepreneur and not so much as a client, right? And
Yes.
so and I can elaborate a little bit more on that, but basically you got to have the right mindset, which is having a student mentality. Like you got to be willing to learn and go through the process and be as knowledgeable as you can be. Most people think that e-commerce or entrepreneurship is just creating a Shopify store, slap a few products and then do $200 a month in Facebook advertising. Like that's what most people have in their minds when it comes to how to create a supplement or e-commerce business. And it's tough. It's not easy. Like you're gonna go through a lot of challenges, you're gonna go through a lot of difficulties, you are gonna find a lot of frustration in the process, and not just with us, but just with everybody and with everything. Like it doesn't matter what you do, like you are gonna find issues, problems, you are gonna see roadblocks. But man, if you don't have an entrepreneur mentality, meaning keeping your mind open and willing to learn and willing to go through the process and push forward, like if you're gonna quit upon the first mistake or the first issue or problem, like you don't deserve to be an entrepreneur. I mean, that's how it is. Like
Exactly.
if you're gonna if there is a problem, if there is an issue when you're doing your business and your entrepreneurship, like if you're gonna have a problem and you're gonna sit there and whine and complain about it, like this is not for you. Like
Yep.
entrepreneurship in general. So you got to have the right mindset. Like you got to be a killer, you got to be a hunter, like you got to be you got to be a warrior, you got to go out there and crush skulls. Like you got to have that spirit. Like if you don't have it, like if you don't go
Exactly.
out in the day with that mentality of whatever happens today, I'm going to push through, I'm going to get things done. If there are challenges, welcome them, like because they help you learn, and that applies to life too. Like problems,
100%.
challenges, they shape you, they make you what you are. Like they build your character. Like there's so much more benefits in difficulties than just having an easy entrepreneurship a process. So yeah, that will be the main mistake that people have when becoming entrepreneurs, when becoming business people, is that they're not willing to go through all the problems because they don't have the right mentality, the mindset. So you got to have the proper mindset before you do anything, business wise. Like you got to know
Agreed.
that you are going to face challenges. Like that's life. It's real life. You're going to have problems. You're going to have difficulties. You're going to have to figure it out. And there's a lot of things
Hmm.
you're going to have to figure it out on your own. Nobody's going to be there to help you. You're going to get criticized by people. You're going to get bumped down. You got to be able to push through all of that. So you got to have the right mindset.
Absolutely. And I think that's what really changes every single thing in their life. Like someone who is struggling in their business, being criticized to actually who's actually winning their life. It's all a mindset game. Like it all starts with that particular thing, which is mindset, buddy. And let's get into the next quick question, Marco. Like you're working with 5,000 clients, done over $90 million in sales, helping all these brands grow, right? Like you have a lot of stuff on the table, like your new projects, digital products, fulfillment of supplements. You have your own team. Like I wonder, like how do you manage all of this stuff on the table? Like what kind of system do you have to manage your projects, clients, to make sure that you're super productive?
Right. So when we started, many years ago, it was just an Excel sheet. That's how we manage just a few
Pretty
people.
simple.
You can manage a few people through a spreadsheet, right? An Excel sheet. But
Hmm.
obviously, as we started having more people, we had to get more sophisticated, more automated with everything. And basically, so far, we have used diverse softwares to manage the onboarding process. Right now, we have a membership site, so all of our clients that get access to their dashboard, and we host all of that on ClickFunnels. But at the moment, we're actually building our own app. We are building our own software so that people can manage their brand and business through just one platform. And so what we've done is we've evolved from very simple ways to manage the process to actually our own platform and app. And the idea for that is to have as much of the process automated so that people can go through the process a lot faster with less hoops, if you will. And so it's just software. Like, you got to have software that is custom made, or tailored to your clients' needs. And if there's one thing that we have been reinvesting on throughout the years, is on improving our software and how we handle the onboarding process. So software, that's how we do it.
Absolutely. So you're making the process more simple,
Yes.
keeping it all through on a single straight line. That's awesome, buddy. And
Right.
let's get into the next question, Marco. Like, what will be your suggestion to a 20-year-old you or someone who's just getting started?
So throughout the different businesses that I've had, I've made a lot of money, and with my very first projects that I developed, my very first businesses, I didn't manage my money properly. So money was coming in, money was coming out. So I started spending money on this, spending money on a new car, spending money on that. So if there's one thing that I would tell myself when I was 20, was manage all the income that you're receiving properly, and more than managing it, every penny that you have, see ways of reinvesting that penny. See ways of taking that penny and turning that penny into 2 pennies, into 3 pennies. This is it's a normal mistake that people make when they start making money, like first time in their lives. It's like they go crazy and they start buying this and buying that and spending money on this, and they just go on a shopping spree. And then they look 5 years back and they say, where all my money went? Like, I made $2 million. Where is all this money? Like, I don't have anything right now. When if you had managed that money properly and invested that money properly, that $2 million could have turned into $8 million or $10 million by now. So that's something that I would definitely tell myself is,
Yeah, like that's a great lesson for everyone. Like, a lot of people, like anyone can make money. It's no big deal, right? Like, they can make money. Making money is not a big job, but handling the money right way and building a real wealth is a true game. Right?
Yes.
Like, that's what separates every successful entrepreneur to someone who's just doing some random business, right?
Yeah.
And you figure it out.
Yeah, I will go back to my 20-year-old self, and I will say, Marco, you need to know how to manage your money, and you need to know how to invest it. And let me give you some ideas.
Absolutely, absolutely, buddy. So hopefully you can do that right now through this show for a lot of people who are struggling.
Yeah, and for people right now,
Absolutely.
there's a lot of young entrepreneurs who are making money through e-commerce, tons of money. Like,
Yep.
don't go and spend it all. Like, reinvest. Every dollar that you make, reinvest it, make it $2-3, and that way you can retire early. Like, my plan was to retire when I was 30. Right now I'm 35, and I'm still working, I'm still grinding. So, and the only reason why is because I didn't reinvest my money properly. So that's definitely one of the lessons that I have learned, and I will encourage young people, is if they get money on their hands, is to manage it properly and to reinvest it.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And thank you so much for that suggestion. Like, that's going to help a lot of people who are watching this. And let's get to the next question, Marco. Like, what are your life's biggest achievements so far, and what are your next goals?
So my biggest achievements are my 2 beautiful children, my son and my daughter. For me, they are my actual success. And the way that I see life is, if they can be successful in life, if they can be happy, if they can be, who they want to be, and be pleased with their life, I know that I did a good thing in my life. Basically, it goes back to duplicating yourself. Like, if if you are doing well in life, if you're successful and you can duplicate yourself with your generations to come, that's to me one of the biggest achievements is making sure that my son, my daughter, that they are happy, they're successful, that they have their lives in order. And that's my motivation on the daily. That's why I'm working 16, 18, 20-hour days. That's why I'm working on the weekends. That's why I'm doing 10 things at the time. I want to be able to provide a good life for my kids and make sure that they know what they need to do in life too. So they're my biggest achievements when it comes to a personal level. When it comes to a business level, Rocktomic, is one of my biggest business achievements. And there's a lot more things that we're going to be doing, me and my partners, in the future, in the years to come. But business-wise, Rocktomic, like we've been able to build an awesome opportunity for people to develop their business without the risk and without the typical issues that you're going to find yourself in the space. And when it comes to the next goals, I definitely want to get into real estate. I definitely want to develop a business of some form. Coaching when it comes to real estate. That's something that me and my partners were very interested on. And yeah, basically, going starting into that arena, the real estate arena.
Okay, so you have a great plan with that probably, and wish you success with that, buddy. All the best with that. So let's get to the next question, Marco. So like so far you've seen like your clients making a lot of money, you making a lot of money, business, life wise, everything, right? So like what was your biggest mistake so far in your life?
My biggest mistake. It's always difficult to talk about your mistakes, right? Like you never want to sound like you make mistakes. You always want to sound like
Exactly.
You always want to sound like the guru, like the one that knows everything, right?
But that's not reality anyway.
So I can talk about so this is my fourth business that I have, Rocktomic. I can talk about my third business. I actually have an English academy, an English school for airline pilots. And one of the mistakes that I made was once I reached success, like once I was in a very comfortable spot, I got complacent. And it's very easy to get complacent, to get relaxed once you achieve success.
Yeah.
So, that and that's one of the things that I always remember. When you get complacent, and I got complacent, your business, may start going down. You may start facing issues, and you may lose focus, and that affects your business, your personal life at all levels. So
Exactly.
getting comfortable when you reach success, I believe, is one of my biggest mistakes when I had that business. And so with Rocktomic right now, I'm trying to do the complete opposite. Is if we are finding and achieving success, which we are, I'm actually working harder. I'm actually working more. I'm actually doing more things. I'm actually creating more things, more projects, more ideas. So that's the biggest mistake that I have made in my entrepreneur life. Is once I found success, I got comfortable, and you cannot do that. Like you can never get comfortable if you are still young, and if you're still developing your ideas in your life. So
Yeah, and that's a great learning. That's a great learning for everyone watching. Like even for me, like we should never get comfortable. Like you can see some money sitting in your bank account. That doesn't mean that you should stop working. You should actually start impacting more people's life because you had more resources right now, right? You got your clients, you got your money, so it's time to make more, time to help more people. Absolutely. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Marco, for being super transparent and teaching us that lesson, amazing lesson. So let's get into the next question, Marco. Like, who are your main people, inspirations for all of the stuff you have done, and any key people involved in your business?
Right. Yeah. So most people that are in business and they have achieved some level of success, if you will, they usually have somebody they look up to and somebody who inspires them for success. Me,
Exactly.
I'm a little bit different in that way. Like I actually don't have one. Like I actually don't have a person that inspires me in business or inspires me success. Like if there's one thing that I learned from my very young age or from at a very young age is I'd rather be that person that inspires myself. Like I'd rather be my own mentor. I rather learn and find learnings and inspiration like on my own. So if there's one thing that really that people can identify from me is self-sufficiency. Like I believe that I'm very self-sufficient. Basically, I rely on me a lot, on a lot of things. So
that's a great quality.
Yeah, that self-sufficiency is something that I've been developing, since I became self-aware of what life is and how you go through life. And I really haven't had, the desire or the motivation to follow somebody. I've been wanting to be that person, that follows, himself, and finds the inspiration, from within instead of going out there and getting it. So I believe in the inner growth, which is, knowing yourself, knowing who you are, knowing your capacity, knowing your capabilities, But yeah, I really don't have somebody or something that inspires success or motivation.
Absolutely.
I've been trying to be self-sufficient on that note and kind of like discover my own path. Like the thing is that when I figure something out, I want to be able to take credit for it. But if I read it in a book, if somebody else said it, like I can't take credit for it. So if I come up with an idea, with a concept, with anything, like I want to give myself the credit saying I created it and I didn't listen, to anybody on that regard. Like I came up with that on my own. So I don't know if that's too, egocentric or whatever.
No, it was great actually. Like there are very rare number of people who actually do this. Like everyone needs some external motivation, but you rely on yourself. Like that's something interesting, right? You are like you're a hustler. That's awesome, but
yeah.
Awesome.
Again, people can judge me for it, but like I try to motivate.
No judgments here. Yeah, that's awesome. You're super cool, man. So let's get into the next question, Marco. Like, where can our audience find your mentoring? Because you've shown us your cool company, Rockatomic, like how it's helping a lot of people to create their own supplement brands. So where can our audience find your mentoring?
Well, I mean, we do have a VIP mastermind and Facebook group for Rockatomic Labs, and that's where I do most of my mentoring or coaching or, help people understand what the process is to build your brand and business and so forth. So, that's where you would find that mentoring. Obviously, you have to have an account and you got to be a member of Rockatomic to access to it. But yeah, that's where, normally we would, where our audience will find that mentoring is in our VIP Facebook group.
Absolutely. And I'm going to drop the Rockatomics link in the comment section after we finish this session so that anyone can reach out to you. And that was awesome, Marco. I really enjoyed interviewing you. Super valuable lessons, super intensive lessons, so self-motivating lessons as well. So like any last words before we conclude the complete interview session?
Sure. Yeah. Like, just an invitation to everybody out there. Like if you want to get into e-commerce, if you want to create your own supplement brand, we would love to have you and we'll love to, help you achieve that. And so thank you for sharing that link to our website. If anybody wants to book a one-on-one consultation with me just to learn more about the model, I'll be happy to do that. So, yeah, I mean, this is the right time to get into e-commerce. Right now, e-commerce sales account for 21% of retail sales across the world. By 2030, 2035, it's going to go up to 80, 90%. So if there's a to get into e-commerce, it's right now. And if you don't get into e-commerce, if you don't have any type of digital or physical product on any e-commerce platform, in 10 years, you're going to be obsolete. Unless you have technical skills, right? Like computer skills, software skills, programming skills. But if you don't have any technical skills in 10 years, you're going to be obsolete, And so getting to e-commerce, I mean, it's a wonderful thing. It's very rewarding. You're going to have through a lot of challenges and you're going to have to learn a lot, but it's totally worth it at the end of the day. I love being at home, having dinner and then, having my phone ring, ding, a sale came in, ding. It's a great feeling that me and my partner, and especially my business partner, Aaron, he has done an amazing job in the marketing piece. And it's just amazing to see people signing up and coming in as you're doing other things in life, and we have really built an automated business and you can do that through e-commerce. So get into e-commerce. And if you want a product, we have tons of products, supplements, CBD, work with us, we would love to work with you. And yeah, that will be my final words. And also thank you for having me in your show. Thank you for considering me. I don't consider myself an expert or a guru on any level, but I do appreciate you inviting me and sharing my experience and asking me your questions. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. And we are glad that you joined, Marco. Like, where can we find so much ton of value about how they can build their own white label, private label brand? Like, no one really does that in the marketplace other than you. So, super excited and super thankful that you actually joined us. And again, Marco, thank you so much for joining on time and providing tons of value. Thanks everyone who is watching this, and thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to interview you, Marco. And everyone who's watching this, hopefully it helped you. And stay tuned, guys, for the next interview. We'll be looking forward. And we'll also have Marco when he hit 2x award for sure again, or when he do anything extra. All right. Excited for you, Marco.
Sure. Just
have
let
a
me
great
know.
day, man.
Yeah, just let me know. Bye.